Awesome. Well, congratulations on the new EP. It's really
Thank
great to
you.
hear some new music from you guys. You've been around since 2017. How do you feel like your sound has evolved over the past few years?
Well, we've evolved a long way from the start. We've obviously had a few changes in lineup, singers and drummers, and that changed the sound remarkably. But since Tim come on board and that come on board, I think we've sort of solidified our sound. We released Everyday Warrior, which is a banger album, and went well all around the place. So we knew we had to follow it up with something better, like
Mhm.
as good or better. So yeah, we was just stick to the same formula that we normally do. It just seems to work for us, like it just naturally comes together. Like, yeah, you don't force it; the music just flows. So.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. And like you said, you've just had the recent addition of Tim and Nat. And how have their specific playing styles influenced you all differently as musicians?
Yeah, definitely. Like Tim's got a great, melodic punk voice. He can vary it from, a nice sweet sound to also a bit of a roar too. So,
Mm.
we can play to that. We can play the faster, harder songs. We can write the more ballady, melodic songs, because we know he can sing over it. And that's one of the great things about him is you send him a song and half the time, 2 days later, he sent it back to you. He's written vocals and recorded something to us. Like, yeah, that's good. Let's get this done. So it really, really helps thing up. And like Nat's just, he's just a live energy machine. He's so great. Like playing with him live is awesome. He's just you can feed off him like that, and he loves it too. And the crowd loves him. And yeah, it's just it's a good combination. What got going right now. So.
Yeah, that's awesome. You're definitely you're a pretty tight band. I've seen you a couple times live and you're pretty tight. You definitely mesh together well.
Yeah, yeah, thanks. Yeah, and now it does. It makes a big difference. Yeah, being able to just click and relate, and all being on the same page, knowing what to do. So yeah, it works really well.
Beautiful. So you guys have shared the stage with some punk giants like No Fun at All, 28 Days, and Body Jar. Who would be your favorite band to tour with out of everybody you've toured with?
Man, there's some fun ones on there. Some of those bands that we played with are all-time favorites, like Good Riddance. Did them as well. But we've just played with Wilhelm Scream on Thursday night, and they are probably my favorite band in the world. Like they're just the best of the best, and they're just great blokes to boot. They love to party as well. Like we had drinking all night with them pretty much, and they go out and back it up and do it the next night. They're true rock stars. But yeah, it was a pity we only got to do one show with them. I guess they
Yeah.
probably would have broke us if we had gone on tour with them. But yeah, we would have seen how it really like. But yeah, for me, you can't beat those guys. They're just the best band, the greatest music, great musicians, great guys, and just good fun all around. That's what you want from a band, especially go on tour with.
Yeah, you definitely want to have fun. You don't want to be walking on eggshells, that's for sure.
No, well, that's it. Well, normally our problem is we have too much fun, so it's hard
Yeah,
to go and
it
back
looks
it up
like
night
it, that's for
after
sure.
night. Yeah.
So I adore your previous album, Everyday Warrior. It's literally not left my CD player in the car for like a year. It's the
Yeah,
best
nice.
music to drive home to after you've had a tough day. So um,
Good.
that album was a pretty fun kind of party style, boost your mates up kind of album. This one has more of an aggressive stand up to the man kind of feel. Was there any inspiration behind the album that was more like,
Well, I don't know. Like, really, our inspiration is mostly just drawn from life experience and what's going on. So it's kind of it makes it easy in that way to be able to write that sort of stuff.
Mhm.
But we're always trying to be pretty upbeat and positive. We don't try and write overly deep or sad or
Yeah.
controversial songs. But there's another couple on the album too, which are just sort of hard, fast hitting punk. Like so. It's kind of a bit of a mix up between both, which is really good. So yeah, we just it's good to be able to vary it up and not write the same song over and over again and fill an album with it. You know, we want to try and avoid doing that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I love the song Nothing Town. I grew up in a small town school about, I won't give away how old I am, but when it was still a small town, I really related to the lyrics. Was there any real life inspiration behind that song?
Yeah, well, like it's obviously Tim's the one doing the lyrics, and that's pretty much where it stemmed from. Is just you feel like you're stuck in just a small nowhere place. Sometimes it might just be an outer suburb of a big city, but that's where you're stuck, and a lot of people feel that. So like we've had a lot of people say the same thing. They can really relate to that because how many people want to get out of where they are as soon as they can get away, they do, and
Yeah,
it's the best feeling. It's good to be able to do that, and yeah, that's exactly what it's about. Give people something to think about, something to look forward to, something to aspire for. Like, yeah, we can get out of this nothing town, So
definitely. Yeah. Yeah, I loved that one. It was really good. Now that the pandemic has settled, we've had a chance to look back at the troubled last few years that we've had. Is there anything about that time that was kind of defining for your band?
uh, yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just you can't help. It's got to sort of mold you a little bit. It's always going to have an influence. I don't know if I could put one defining moment on it, but we just play through it. It's just don't let anything stop us. Like, let alone that. Like we were lucky here. I guess we weren't overly affected so much by lockdowns and close downs and stuff like that. Like there would be gigs going on, but sometimes it mightn't be. No one's going to them, so it's not worth playing, sort of thing. But yeah, look, it's good to come out the other side. That's it. Like things are really shaping up this year and seem like they're getting back to some kind of normal. And we just want to see more of that. Like yeah, we've been through that. Don't want to go back there. That's for sure. So let's
No,
keep
definitely
moving
not.
on.
No,
Yeah.
that would be awful. I love going to gigs again. It's definitely a defining part of who I am. The music. I wouldn't be here without it, I don't think, you know.
No, that's right. Yeah. Well, geez, I think about the amount of friends and times I've had purely related to music. Yeah,
Yeah.
it would just be a completely different place without it. And yeah, you'll definitely miss live shows, big international touring bands, because you go to a show and it's the punk community there. It's all the boys like
Yeah.
you turn up and there's going to be a dozen people there, without even talking to
Like a
them.
family reunion of sorts.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and then like yeah, it's good now. You get back to it. There's been a few shows coming out, and the same boys are getting out again. So
Yeah.
yeah, that makes us happy. And like you look at what's coming up in the calendar this year. It's like yeah, things are looking really good. Like everyone's wanting to tour. Everyone's wanting to get back out. So let's hope
Yeah.
they all hit Australia.
Yes, it's going to get hectic again very soon. So I always get hints of Millencolin when I listen to you guys. Who would you say are your biggest influences, like individually for yourself and as a band?
Yeah, look, Millencolin's definitely up there. Yeah, yeah. We Bouncing Souls is another one that we get to. Like, and I hear that as well, and especially in Tim's voice and the style of music. And I love that. Like, yeah, I'm stoked. I love those guys. So, they're a massive influence. Like Pennywise as well, especially with Mick and his riff writing abilities. Like, he's just he's like he's Fletcher reincarnated.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome, but sometimes he's too much Pennywise. We don't want to be Pennywise because they write the same album every time. We don't want to do
Yes, they
that.
do.
But yeah, like Darren's got big metal influences. Obviously, we've all got the same sort of bass roots. From '90s punk. Listening to bands like Strung Out and Bad Religion and No Effects. Pulley, 10 Foot Pole, all that sort of shit. Like that that's really what molds us, I
Yeah.
guess, into what we are. And then all the new age stuff that comes out on top of it, you kind of just like, oh yeah, just add it into the repertoire. It's
Yeah.
like, geez, these guys are doing something good, Like that's why I'm really stoked to see new bands come out that are playing good punk music because it's few and far between. It's been too
Yeah.
long, but there's a few out there now, and it's good to see. Like they're the sort of
Yeah.
boys we want to be
I've seen a
associating.
few punk shows in Brisbane lately, and they've been pretty good. So, Yeah,
Yeah, nice.
hopefully punk's on the rise back.
Yeah, that's it. Hey, it's got to come back around in cycles, doesn't it? The tide's going to
Yeah, it
turn.
sure
That's what I
does.
keep
Yeah.
saying. One day, it'll probably be a year after we give it up and we're too old, then it'll come back popular.
No, no, never give it up.
No,
Never
never. You're
stop. So, in saying that, what was the best concert that you've ever been to as a punter?
Oh man, that's fuck, there's so many, so many. Like I don't know. I remember I saw Rise Against at the arena in like 2005. Like it was
Wow.
just after Revolutions, the Sirens come out, and like that was back when they were fucking sick. That was real Rise Against. That was fucking epic show. Wilhelm, seeing them play Hits and Pits, they played Mute Print start to finish, and Flatliners played Cavalcade start to finish at the one show at the Crowbar. Like, what a show,
Yeah, wow.
It just there's so many like sound waves, like the sound waves are so good. Like a festival where you got 20 good bands on one day, like you just don't get that stuff anymore.
Yeah, I miss
I
our
miss
way.
that. Yeah, look, for me, I couldn't say there's one gig that stands out above the fucking 500 that I've seen, like
Yeah,
when you're coming out of the gig, sometimes you might be saying, oh, geez, I think that's the best gig I've ever seen, but it all fades
yeah.
away after a while. So yeah, there's too many to pick one. I can't pick one.
Yeah, no, fair enough, fair enough. I'm a bit like that too. Like I've seen so many from different genres, and I'm like, I can't pick.
Right there. Yeah.
So you guys have the EP launch coming up at Mo's very soon. Do you have any pre-show rituals?
Not really, no. No, like yeah, always have a few beers, just
Yeah,
get a bit warm that way and nah, just go there and have fun. Like that's pretty much all we do. Like everything we do is always involves a laugh, always involves a bit of fun. Like we never take ourselves too seriously. Like we play, we do what we do and take that seriously. We'll do it well to an extent, but
doesn't mean you
it's
can't
not
have fun.
got to be like this, and you're not
Yeah,
allowed to drink, and you can't do this, and you got to play this. It's yeah, no, not sort of like that. It's just you go with the flow kind of band, and that's always what works best. Like the natural energy and the natural flow. And once we get on stage, it just seems to happen, which is good. Like
yeah,
that's what you need because I've seen bands before, good bands, that you really like, and you see them live, and you're just like, this is past. Like I
yeah.
liked you so much more
Very
before I saw you live,
disappointing.
and
Yeah,
then you get the other end of the spectrum where bands you didn't really like before, you see them live and go, wow, these guys are amazing. So
yeah.
we want to
Hoodoo
come to
Gurus
both
did
ends of
that
the
for me.
spectrum.
Yeah,
We want the studio recordings and the live show to both be people saying, hey, these guys are awesome. So yeah,
definitely. And that for me, you guys are definitely that. Like I saw you live before I heard your recordings, and that was at the Lagerstein show at
oh
the
yeah, the
Griffin.
Triffid. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I was like, wow, these guys are you just blew me out of the water. I was like, yes, real punk, here we go.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
and
nice.
I
Well,
I
yeah,
went
that's
downstairs and I bought the album and yeah, hasn't left my car since.
good. That's it. Win it over the fans. Well, I
Yeah,
guess we did that with Everclear too. Like we did those 3 shows with Everclear, just impromptu, straight off the bat, and they're not really a punk band like us. Like
yeah,
they are and they aren't. And we were playing to 500 or 600 people. Sold out shows there, and no one was there to see us. No one knew who we were. But we
yeah,
played
right.
and people were loving us. At the end, after the night, the guys are coming up buying our merch saying, hey, where are you guys from? We're from the Gold Coast, mate. They're like,
Yeah,
what? How do we not know about you? So,
yeah,
and that sort of thing, like that to me is a way bigger pat on the back, getting congratulated by some
yeah.
randoms that don't
You
know
won over
you
a rock
rather
crowd.
than, yeah,
Yeah,
rather than your friends or people that like punk already,
yeah,
they sort of expect to say that. But, yeah, so look, that was a bit of an eye opener for us, and we're like, hey, yeah, we are doing something right here, eh? Just let's keep
absolutely.
doing what we're doing.
No, that's awesome. So, if you could collaborate with anybody in the world, who would be your top three?
Yeah. Oh, geez, I've answered this one a few times. Look, I got to say, Wilhelm Scream, like they're just those guys blow me away. It would probably be no good collaborating with them because they come up with shit that wouldn't be able to play anyway. Definitely would love that. If we're talking dead or alive, like Tony Sly, he was definitely one of the greatest songwriters of all time, musician.
Yep. He was
And
great for a name too. Yep.
yeah, that's right. It's hard to go past that. And look for a third. Oh, look, I'll probably say Greg Graffin from Bad Religion, just because he's a killer songwriter too. He's got it all. He's done it all. He's just got the world of experience, and yeah, it'd be awesome to spend some time with those boys, playing some music with them.
Yeah, that would be really cool actually. Be very very different.
Mm.
So, what is the best life advice that you've been given?
That I've been given. Oh
Mm.
man, yeah, I don't know. I've probably been given a lot. I probably just don't remember most of it. Oh man, no, I don't know. There's not really one thing that sits with me that I say, I carry that mantra that I was told this once,
Hmm.
and
Is
I've
there any mantra you do carry?
uh, not as such. No, I just live your life as you want to do it. Don't let people hold you back. Don't wait for the right moment. If you want something, you go after it, chase it, do it, make it happen.
Yeah,
Involve yourself with the people that are gonna help that happen. Don't let others drag you down. Like it's all about positive mental attitude, really. You got to keep the PMA.
yeah,
It,
absolutely,
it's a huge
absolutely.
thing.
So, what's next for fake news after this?
Well, yeah, we've got that album launch show at Moe's in May, so that's the next thing we've got coming up. Obviously, the album comes out in a couple of days, and yeah, we'll sort of pump that and float off that for a bit. But we've got our next single ready. We just need to go and record it and get it out. So that's definitely the main focus: is get in the studio. Let's get this thing recorded. We want to release that mid-year, so not wait
Awesome.
too long. And then,
Very excited.
we're probably next year. I reckon we're ready for another full length. We've got a fair few songs in the pipeline. There's a lot of ammo there waiting, ready to go. We just got to knuckle down and get in and do it. Yeah, it's
Wow.
a big process. That's it. It's daunting, man. After that first full length album, like that was none of us has ever done a full length before, and
Yeah.
like, yeah, let's do it. We've got what we need to do it, and it was a long process, and it was hard, and it nearly broke us. There were many tense conversations and fights over it, but yeah, you come out the other side, and it's all worthwhile. It's all
It was
worthwhile.
perfect album. I absolutely adore it.
Yeah, that's it. So that's why we went with a 4-track EP this time. We're like, nah, we'll keep it a little bit simpler. We've got what we need there. Let's just bang this
Yep.
out. It'll be a bit quicker, a bit easier, a bit cheaper.
Yep.
Yeah.
So have you kind of saved the best for last for the next full length?
Not really, no. No, like when we strike when the iron's hot. Like when a song's getting written, when you're doing it, it's on. That's the one. It's not like, oh, this is good. We'll save this for later.
Yeah.
Because there's another song coming next week. It's always you put them in the bank, and then it's hard to get them out of it. So
Yeah.
you just got to be, yep, this is it. Let's finish this. Let's go to the next one or the next one. So it's just getting
Yeah.
the time to sit down and learn it all, and get everyone up to speed and
Yeah.
to the point of recording. Yeah, time and
Awesome.
money. That's what it all
Time
comes
and
down.
money. Yes.
Yeah,
We're all
maybe
lucky.
maybe a little bit of dedication too.
Yeah, just a tad.
But give us the time and the money, and we'll sort the rest out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, that's about all I've got for you tonight. Thank you so much for your time and congratulations again on the EP. It's awesome. I love it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. No,
hope the
thanks.
launch
Yeah,
goes great. Hopefully, I can make it down, trying to sort out work and stuff. So, yeah, be a good night.
yeah, for sure. No doubt. You won't have heard the last of us. We'll be out there a bit more from now, and yeah, that's it. We're always working to something else. There's always something more on the cards. So
That's good news for
yeah,
me.
yeah, that's it. That's it. Stay tuned.